Hey guys, this is Jenna with Hill Valley Farm, and today I wanted to give a quick update on things that have happened and what is going on. So let's get started. First of all, the girls want to tell you it has turned hot. So enter summer, right? And which means water's in the shade, because when they're in the sun out there, they get hot. So we have some clean, fresh waters in the shade and some goatees that are thankful for it. The other big news is Dicey ended up having a, you guessed it, single buckling on day 150. He is really not, he wasn't like a massive buck, so it was an easy peasy delivery. No problem. Of course, he's like resting in the cool. It is very hot today, and we've got the fan going. But she did great with him. And, you know, she had a lot of milk last year, and it was just wonderful and great. This year, so far, she really didn't have that much. But she had a single buckling. So, I mean, you know, what can we expect? But we are very happy with him. He's healthy. She's healthy. And really, that's what makes us happy. She was nice enough that morning, weren't you? Yes. To let me get the chores done, but not nice enough to where she started pushing at 7 a.m., which is when I start getting ready for work. So I was late to work that day, but my job is really gracious, and they totally understood. And so we took care of Miss Dicey and her baby. She really didn't need any assistance because, again, he wasn't really super huge. And it was just an easy peasy delivery, which we are so grateful for every time that happens. And they're just doing great. They're kind of chilling here in the kid area. They have that field out there they can go to. But again, it is, I think it's 89 degrees right now. It's really hot. And so we've got our water there, and they've been in the shade, and of course we've got our fan going. So anyways, that's it on Dicey. Next on the list there is Ima. She's the one on the left. She looked to be carrying a single when we did our ultrasound to count. So there might be just another single birth there. She will be a first freshener. She won't be 2 until the 9th of June. So she's a yearling. Milk her until June 9th. And after her is Aurora. I don't see Aurora on this side, but Aurora is pretty big. She's getting pretty massive. And of course, Cindy Lou. Let's see if I can pan out. Cindy Lou out there, scratching right there. And then behind her in the gold and white, that's Peanut. Peanut is due in June, I think June 11th. She's actually due before Cindy Lou is. And it looked like on ultrasound, Cindy Lou was carrying 3. And for, Peanut was carrying 3. I don't really know. Cindy Lou, I'm trying to look at my board. Actually, we might not have carried her. Might have been 2. I really don't know. But needless to say, they're carrying something, because she's developing an udder, and Peanut definitely is. Peanut is actually looking really good. There's Alice walking across. And behind that kid, the flashy kid there, that's Trippy. We call her Hill Valley G Trippin' Tea Party. She's a fancy little doeling. She's out of Alice and Golden. Last time I did an update, I was talking about, you know, our bad weekend and Daisy and her kids and all that. I wanted to go ahead and announce that the buckling did pass on, I think it was that 7th day, which I had heard, just like I said in my last video, that it is very common for a premature goat to crash when it is about a week old, and that's exactly what he did. There was nothing visible. There was no obvious reason, but he just quit taking a bottle, and he was not here long after that at all, which was good for him because I just feel like, I don't want an animal to suffer. And so he passed pretty quickly. I was not surprised because I knew the odds. And so obviously that was really sad. But, I did know, it was probably not gonna turn out successfully. The other thing that I feel the need to tell you guys about, and it wasn't just Daisy and all that weekend, that Saturday before, like after the Thursday that Daisy kidded, that Saturday night we had some storms roll in, and we were in the barn doing chores, and we had our old barn cat in here, Trixie. I couldn't find Willow. I asked Caden, have you seen Willow? And he said, at first he said no, and literally 30 seconds later, oh, here she is. And she had apparently came dragging herself into the barn hallway. And he brought her into the milk room because I was milking and sat her down. She was soaking wet. I've never seen a cat like that because that's not normal cat behavior. Basically, she got caught up in the storm and she barely got into the barn. But she was very sick. There was something very bad wrong. So I wrapped her in a towel. I had towels where Daisy was. And so I wrapped her in a towel and we took her in as soon as we were done. Kept her comfortable. That was Saturday night. Kept her comfortable all day Sunday. I wasn't concerned really. I thought she looked like she had a major respiratory virus or illness or something, but I wasn't sure what was going on. But I didn't think it was we're dying, so we should go to emergency vet, right? Because that can cost thousands. So I called my vet early Monday morning, took off work, all the things, and took her into the vet that morning. They got her right in. Long story short, through testing and imaging and all the things, we found out that she was something called FIV positive, which is the cat's form of AIDS, and that she had some virus and the reason she was so bad is because she had an immune deficiency, and it looked so bad. Like when I got her out of her crate, she was laying her head on the table. I mean, animals never do that at the vet, And, of course, I was devastated. Number one, I really was not familiar with FIV. I've had cats all my life. They always just live really long, and I don't have to worry about them. But it was very devastating. And I didn't quite at first know what to do, but she was so bad, and my vet really helped me get to the conclusion because she's like, we could treat her and we're not here overnight, so she could pass during the night and no one would be with her. Well, that was not ideal, and she really did look that bad. So I chose to have Willow put down. It was a really hard decision. It was a really hard thing because she had just turned 1 in March, and excuse me, this was April. It was just really horrific. It was a very hard day, and so I did, of course, knowing me, I did a lot of research. Like, cats normally live 5 to 10 years with this. Why all of a sudden is she so bad? And we, through blood work and everything, the vet discovered that she was truly an end stage FIV as a 1-year-old. And the only explanation is it was passed to her from her mother. Because we don't have cats coming in here. Our cats don't fight. They're females. They're spayed. And if you saw Willow, you knew she was a very small calico, just like Trixie. Trixie does not fight other cats. She just never has. And I have had cats that did fight, so I know what that looks like. Willow was the same way. We did have one feral cat come in. We did trap it and take it to the shelter, and they adopted him out. But there was never fighting. There was never, like, it would take a deep bite wound, apparently, to pass on the FIV. And Willow did not, I mean, we were all over her, you know, daily, petting her, loving on her, picking her up, checking her, you know, like just all the things, just like we do Trixie. And there was no evidence at all of anything like that. So the vet did agree that most likely it came from her mother, because there's no other explanation as to why she would be an end-stage FIV. So we lost Willow. Therefore, I lost the barn cat that I spent 4 to 5 months transitioning to the barn. All that work, you know, and she was perfect. She really was. She was perfect. So I was left with, I can't wait. I don't want another kitten, you know. And so we were fortunate to find a cat that she is 6 months old, probably maybe 7 months old now. She was already spayed, had her vaccinations. She had tested negative for all the things, including FIV. And so we brought her in. She is another calico, and I named her Maisie, M-A-I-S-I-E. And it is a Scottish name, it meaning pearl, because I feel like that was a rare thing to find. I think it was a God wink, because God knew what a horrible situation that was. And I do feel like he was kind of looking out for me here. And because you can't in a barn sit on no help with hunting. You gotta have something. And we always, you know, there's always mice and rats and, you know, things. And Willow was a massive killer, and she kept things clear. This was the first year we had never even had a mouse in our house, and so that was incredible. So we are forever grateful to Willow. We miss her on the daily, you know, just because I had to get something fairly quickly doesn't mean that love is lost, because we are still grieving her. But we're very happy to have Maisie. I don't know if I can get the camera on her. There she is. So this is Maisie. Hi, Maisie. She's pretty as she can be, and she's perfect in every way. She's very sweet, but she is very into climbing and exploring, and she is, again, very young. But we are very happy to have her on board, and very, very thankful for her. So that's it for the quick update. I appreciate you guys sticking around, and I hope you guys subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and hit that thumbs up button. It helps us more than you know. And until we see you guys again, we hope you have an awesome goat field day.